Right, hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about the Let's Go to the Mall event. Basically Jubilee and arcade themed. But Let's Go to the Mall automatically and immediately makes me think about How I Met Your Mother and Robin Sparkle's Canadian hit, and I can't get it out of my head, so I might not be looking at this event the most objective because I end up chuckling a bit too much. Either way, the new event's gonna start at January 6th, as it normally does. Basically, the next Wednesday is gonna last up until the February the 3rd, and it's gonna be arcade themed. I'm not gonna read everything here word for word, but when it comes to the rewards, one of the most important things to keep in mind is that you're gonna have to kind of pick which lane you want to go in, and then you will be able to switch middle of the month. Basically, you're gonna have these price card vouchers, and you're gonna have to choose whether you want to acquire crystal shards and alike or rank up materials. And then you're gonna be able to complete solo milestones and whatever you have. And then 2 weeks in that event, all of that's going to reset, and you're gonna be presented with a choice once more. For those of you who remember, it probably will be relatively similar to the event that we had with Sorcerer Supreme and Pyramid X, and where we had to choose whether we want to be followers of Apocalypse or followers of Ancient One. Two completely different kind of like sets of fights, two completely different reward structures for all our milestones that ultimately were extremely similar. It's just that they awarded different items. And that's going to be the same thing here. So it's not the ideal, I think, setup, but it's definitely better than just getting what Kabam puts out, and still involves a choice for you. And ultimately, I think it's a relatively decent concept. There will be several difficulties, like there always are, and one of the most important bits here is that you will not be able to get rewards of all the rewards of every difficulty. You're gonna have like X amount of currency or tokens or whatever they're gonna be, and you're likely gonna be able to, let's say, get everything from the hardest difficulty and then bits and bobs of the lower one. In this case, it's kind of similar to Mutant Treasure Island, I suppose, where you basically had enough entries and had enough currency to go and explore the hardest difficulty and then pick whichever items you need most from the lower one, or you ended up not even exploring the hardest difficulty if you didn't care for, I don't know, signature stones or gold, and went down for the resources that you cared for the most. Right. Length of these arcade quests will also kind of differ. There's going to be these Spider-Thin theme, the King of Avengers, or basically the one quest that everybody's going to end up doing anyways. Okay, let me explain. So instead of having a one daily quest where we can enter, effectively we're going to have a choice in between three. This is going to be kind of like 3 different games, and we can choose whichever we want to play in each corresponding difficulty. The idea being that these games should technically be pretty much equal in terms of difficulty and rewards. But I think Kabam made a huge mistake here by quote-unquote offering the challenge mode. Because 2 of these games, Spiders in Time, The Big Apple, and The King of Avengers, are going to be 5 fights and 2 stamps per quest. Which sounds perfectly reasonable, assuming that you're going to be able to do thereabouts 1 quest a day, but it's going to be distributed by weekly allowance or something like that. Still, 5 fights is reasonable length. However, Super Hyper Turbo Special Fatal Ultra Mutant Showdown, it's 9 fights, so nearly twice as long, but it offers you 3 stamps per quest. So if you do want to maximize your possible rewards, and everybody does, let's face it, if you have an option in this game in between getting, I don't know, 20 units or 30 units, you're going to want 30 units. Or if you're going to have an option between getting 2 tier 12 catalysts or 3 tier 12 catalysts, you're going to want to get the 3 tier 12 catalyst. Therefore, every single mother and their dog is going to go and do the final quest, even though it's going to be longer. And I think it kind of defeats the purpose, because it ultimately makes the first 2 games pretty much useless. Only reason anybody would ever do the first 2 games is if they are actually struggling at a difficulty that they have chosen to do, and that's a legitimate way for them to save resources. But every single person who's capable will be subjected to these significantly longer quests just because they award slightly more. So I don't know. I don't think the design of this quite makes it worth it. But who knows? We're gonna have to play. So I'm not gonna criticize it too much past this point. But there are also going to be special continue coins, which is possibly one of the cooler things. Every now and then we get these weird items. We had, I believe, poutine, that was some sort of Canadian chips, basically. Then we had love potions in February event. And in this case, we're going to have continue coins, which will ultimately serve as revives for 25% of upon your health. So it's pretty much the tiny level 1 revive. Much closer to level 1 than level 2 anyways, which would be 40%. And you are able to earn these throughout the event and basically an extra revives. Now, it's not stated in here. Only thing that's stated that you can't use them in Alliance quests, but that's kind of given. But it's not stated here, but if past is any indicator, that after this event expires, they will simply be converted into level 1 revives, which is still fair enough. So for those of you who are currently doing a push or trying to amass the resources for Abyss or Act 6 exploration, this event will be a huge help, because you will be able to get a handful of these and effectively use them as revives for whatever purpose you want. So I like that. I always like to see these special resources. And yeah, I think that's a quite cool addition. Another thing to note that there are these special prize cards, which are going to be awarded by solo objectives. Basically, defeat X-Men champions in arenas, and you're going to get these continue coins. You can also collect X amount of stamps, which is, I assume, basically complete X amount of special objectives. And there's going to be an exclusive profile picture. And also that 10% Tier 5 class Catalyst Fragment Crystal that we pretty much get every month in Cavalier Difficulty or Side Event Quest is tied into this event. So this is where it's going to be located. Next month it's not going to be a 4-star Cavalier run or team under 10,000 PI, anything like that. It's just going to be collect 80 stamps in Jubilee's Arcadia side quests on legendary difficulty to win 10% Tier 5 class Catalyst Fragment Crystal. So that's it, and I think that's going to be relatively easily achievable because you're playing the side quest anyways. So yeah, absolutely no complaints there. So the event ends January 6th for your token, and yeah. What else? So that is basically the amount of information we have currently, because yeah, we do not have a forum post yet, and we do not have a blog post, which is quite odd, but you know, whatever. So we don't really know the full amount of rewards that we're going to be able to acquire, but the idea that we're going to be able to go for catalysts or crystal shards is definitely decent enough in my book, because I for one know for a fact that I'm just going to be going for the catalyst, because that is a guaranteed value. There is no RNG involved, and unless you are swimming in catalysts and quite literally have nothing to rank, my personal recommendation, pretty much always in these situations for any decently well-established account, is to go for the catalyst, because they represent a guaranteed value in contrast to crystal shards and your ability to be completely shafted over by your RNG luck. I think that's pretty much it. As I said, I can't really comment too much because obviously we haven't played the quest yet. There are things that I like about it, there are things that I don't like about it. We don't know about energy costs, which is also going to be an important thing. I do hope that they do not cost any energy. or if they do, they don't cost more than 1 energy. The structure of the event is acceptable to me because it's not something we have to do every day. You can just blitz out a chunk in a one go, and there is some choice involved, and yeah, I think it's a decent event overall. However, still hard to give final verdict on it because we don't know the exact rewards and we haven't played it yet, obviously. But it looks decent enough. Other than this event, obviously January looks quite dry, so I do hope that there is some surprise they're not telling us, because there are no champion reworks, there's no real new pieces of content, so this has to be good, otherwise January is gonna be awful. But yeah, that is it for now, and let me know what you guys think about the mall event. What do you think about Robin Sparkles? But yeah, I'm gonna catch you guys soon, and see ya.